Introducing the sighted world to the blind world.
Her name is Misha, listen up so she can teach you. She's got a wild mind, one of a kind. She's here to teach you, and you.
Family, friends, romance, blind-sighted united.
Unmasking the world of blind.
Welcome to Unmasking the World of Blindness.
Unmasking the world of blind. Unmasking the world of blindness.
Funny, relatable, informative. Here we talk about it.
Kwamisha, talk your shit, girl.
Being blind. I remember about 2 years ago. Just the thought of being blind was terrifying. I always knew that was possible. Basically, you can say I've been prepped my whole life to be blind. I was born with glaucoma. Luckily, my left eye was saved, and I was blessed that for the last 19 years of my life, I could see relatively pretty good. And never really expected to go blind, even though I was told at some point in my life I would. This past year, my life was turned upside down, not because of a pandemic or the scary events of the world. It was because one day I woke up, went to work, and everything was fine. I didn't realize it, but I was slowly losing my vision. I thought it was just because I didn't have my glasses on or I wasn't taking my eye drops. And yeah, that was part of it, but things really didn't hit the fan until one day I was at Walmart on the bread aisle and I couldn't see hot dog and hamburger buns. It terrified me. So, as quickly as I could, I got out of Walmart and went home. I had 2 surgeries this past year in hopes that my vision would be saved, but it wasn't saved. Luckily, I can still see light, and on a really good day, I can actually see things if they're close enough to me. Being blind isn't hard. Is it a challenge? Yes. Is it challenging? Absolutely. It's only hard if you allow it to be. It's only challenging if you allow it to be. We're no different from the average Joe. Hey, we are the average Joe. We're like every other human being that walks the earth. We just have vision or lack of vision or no vision. You can pretty much do anything a sighted person can do. You just have to find a way around it or create a new way to make it happen without using vision, which in some cases I think is creativity. Is when you can take something that's meant to be used visually and make it where you can use it manually. Being blind is a gift, a lot would say. Being blind is a curse, a lot other people would probably say. For me, being blind is a new beginning, a new chapter, a new story to tell, a new experience, a new lesson. And I'm fully ready and prepared to take the challenges ahead of me. I was on my way back home from eating lunch with my friend, and there are moments like this where I'm like, oh my God, like I really don't like this. And I'm just moving to this apartment, so I'm still learning the layout and how to get around and everything. I bumped my head on the staircase because the stairs were above my head. And of course my cane is not gonna alert me that it's at my head. And I hit it and it hurt a little bit, but you know what? I took the alley and I kept going. And I found the stairs and I went into my apartment. It's funny how when you're just new at being blind or visually impaired, how little things can be either taken as horrible, awful, life-changing, I can't do this, devastating, or a wonderful learning experience where you say, hey, yeah, this is hard. It's going to be challenging, but it will be a learning experience, and I'm determined, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. That's the kind of mindset you should always have when you're blind or visually impaired. Because if you're not positive, it really will be hard. It will really be challenging, even more so than you ever could ever imagine. I choose positive. The interesting thing about being visually impaired and blind is that the sighted world is so uneducated on blindness, on being visually impaired. I go out every day almost, encounter hundreds of people who have never encountered a blind person ever in their whole entire life. Scary, right? But it's not expected, and it is normal. Even though you would think, living in a city where there's hundreds and hundreds of visually impaired blind people, that every individual here has seen a blind or visually impaired person. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. You have to be open-minded, willing, and understanding enough to answer questions. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. I know you can hear my cat in the background. That's my cat, Katie. She's adorable. Don't be ashamed of being blind. Well, that's a whole other topic for another day. But it's important, I think, to educate the world on blindness and visual impairment, disabilities, period. Educating people and helping people to understand that just because you're blind or visually impaired, you're not deaf, or you're not mentally disabled, or that you can't cook, you can't clean, you can't live on your own, that you can't work. Like, you have to educate people. Like, some people honestly and truly like want to know about your condition. They want to understand, they want to learn, they want to be educated. And those are my favorite kind of people. Because I figure the more people who are aware of visual impairment and blindness, the better our world can be equipped to help people who are visually impaired and blind. The more they can be understanding and helpful. Wouldn't it be a better world if we could walk in a store and random strangers aren't pushing us out of the way or getting mad because we're bumping into them because we're blind and they don't understand or they don't know that we're blind or not? Wouldn't it be nice to just walk in a restaurant and not being afraid that your waiter or your waitress is going to try to walk you to your table and walk 10 feet ahead of you, like you can see, even though you have a cane and it's clear that you're blind? Well, I figure the more we're educated and the more we educate others, the better the world can be. Come on, it's 2020. Everybody should know what a blind person is or what it means to be visually impaired and blind. Even if they can't understand it, they should know what it's like, right? Yeah. And they should be able to at least understand to the point where they can be helpful, but not over helpful, but helpful enough to where you're comfortable and you're willing to accept the help. That's what Unmasking the World of Blindness is all about. It's not the blind community against the sighted world. It's the sighted world against the blind community. No. It's about educating the sighted world about the blind world so that the sighted world and the blind world can better understand each other and help each other and to make the world a better place.
910 rolls.
Welcome, Matthew, my dearest best friend.
Yeah, forever and always.
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. He's getting over a cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sound yucky.
You sound yucky. Yeah, you sound fine.
But who cares?
Yeah. Claire's on the floor, chilling, sunbathing.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. She's happy because she's in here. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. He's the guy who created the intro for this song, and it's amazing.
I'm not gonna sing it. Please don't ask me to sing it live.
No, you don't have to. How did you do it, though? Because I think some people are interested in, like, how'd you come up with it? Were you just, like, sitting somewhere randomly, just like, oh, yeah, this will work with this?
Honestly, I was at work, and you asked me to, can I make one? I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing I always do is try to come up with a catchy sound.
Yeah.
And I was at work, and I was like, unmasking the world of blind. You know, I was
yeah,
like,
you just
I like
singing
that.
it. Yeah.
I was like, I like that. So I was like, I'm going to go to the break room real quick, record me singing that part, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I won't forget it, because I do that a lot.
Right.
Like,
That's what I do, yeah.
So I recorded
Try
that.
to record it.
And I was like, okay, cool. Now I got the sound, you know, what key it is and how fast I want it, you know, and I got my lyrics written down for it. And I can make a beat to it. And I didn't want to make it like a hard gangster beat.
Right.
I didn't want to make it like a sad. Cause I know you told me a lot of my beats sound sad and gamey.
Yeah.
All right, no, I don't want that. Gamey, yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm trying to put this together and added some little pianos and synthesized. Like, yeah, I think she'll like this. It sounds like Kamisha. And I added more lyrics. I was like, let me talk about Kamisha. Let me talk about her, who she is, and what she's here for. I said she's here to talk about you, and you.
Yeah.
And
you're so talented. Oh my god. And that's not the first song you've written. You've written other songs. I remember a couple of years ago you wrote a song for Kimmy, and it was really freaking good. Like, I couldn't believe like how good it was. You were like 16, 17.
Yeah, I was like,
you were young.
16, yeah. I took it on. I put it on YouTube. I took it off.
You did?
Yeah,
You took it off?
Yeah, you know why, but
yeah.
I got 2 more on YouTube. This is one about my cancer I wrote in 2016, I believe.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it's called what's it called? Oh, The Inside. It's called The Inside.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Milwaukee Matt MB.
Milwaukee Matt MB.
Yeah, I wish I could change it because
check
it's
it
not
out.
my name no more.
Yeah.
But this is about that one. I got another one called Carolina Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about Carolina and living out, being outside and stuff.
Is it mostly rapping or are you like singing too?
My verses are rapping, but the chorus is singing.
Mm-hmm.
For The Inside is straight rapping.
You know, when you rap and sing, you remind me of Drake. It's like he kind of raps and sings at the same time. But it sounds really good. Like, I can't believe it. Like, he's actually not that bad of a singer, actually.
Yeah. I don't think I can sing, but
I think you actually sing okay. I think you're good. I mean, it's not like you're not out of tune or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just the main thing. If you can carry a tune, you're good to go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the way I see it.
And once you get behind the microphone, edit it up a little bit, and you don't sound bad at all.
Right.
Like most of these singers today.
Did you see my Facebook post the other day? I was posting about, like, how now, like, I can't physically see, but I can, like, see with, like, other things, like my hands and my eyes.
Right.
My hands and my ears and my nose and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw that post or not, but
I've seen a lot of posts from you.
yeah, yeah, I bet.
But yeah, whatever you said, I don't remember that post, but whatever you said is true, because when you're blind, you lose. Except for me, I lose my sight and my smell.
Yeah,
I couldn't smell it, like,
because of the tumor.
I don't know what it is, but my smell sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but my feeling, like, I feel things better.
Yeah.
And I hear things better, which sometimes.
And your job is really physical, so you have to be able to.
Yeah.
Feel things. That's how you see.
And my senses are a lot better. Like,
yeah.
Like, I can. It's like instincts. My instincts are better. I'm sure yours are too.
Yeah, one of the things I have trouble with, though, is listening around me.
Yeah.
Like, knowing when there's a big open space or a small space. that's one of the things like I'm trying to like work on with myself, especially with getting a guide dog. You know,
you'll pick up on it.
Yeah, I need to be able to identify a big open space versus a small space.
Well,
and, like little tiny sounds.
Well, when you're in a big space, you know, your little sound you're gonna make is gonna have an echo. Like,
yeah,
you can hear like the difference. But when you like something's there to block out in a smaller room, like it'll sound like that. Like it don't go nowhere.
Right. That's true. That's true. That's one way to go. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. And that's a good way to if that's what you're having problems with. That's what you could do.
It's crazy. Like since I lost my vision, I've learned a lot. Like how to see differently and like to use my hands a lot more and stuff. One of the things that was hard to get used to was cooking and being able to actually see it.
Yeah.
And like now it's like I have to feel everything. Like it's weird, but at the same time, like it's better.
Right. I get that.
You know what I mean?
How many times have you burnt yourself?
None.
What? Okay, I burned myself.
Because I'm extra careful. I mean, I maybe once or twice, but I say none because it's really rare. It's so rare that I can't like even remember.
Maybe I'm just crazy because like when I cook pizza,
I accidentally cut myself more than I burn myself. You know when I'm trying to chop up food or whatever.
Well, maybe I'm crazy because every time I cook pizza in the oven.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's like exactly done, so you know what I do?
What?
Instead of taking it all the way out, I'm too lazy. I just stick my hand in there and touch it.
Yeah. That's why you're after burning your hand.
I'm crazy.
Oh my god, that's why you're burning.
You know I'm crazy.
Yeah, you are crazy. I might have maybe like once or twice, like one little small little grease fire, just a little bit. But other than that, not that bad.
Yeah, I haven't really fried much, but why would you want to fry when you got an air fryer? Woo-hoo.
Yeah, I need to get one of those. Those are nice.
Oh my gosh,
even my mom has an air fryer.
I'm gonna get you one for Christmas.
I need to get. Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, you should do it.
I need to get with that. Everybody has.
I love it. I cook everything in the air fryer.
Can you cook like rotisserie chicken and stuff in there?
Yeah. The other day I cooked pork chops in it. And,
Word? Wow.
Yeah, I just salt and pepper that joker, and I put it in other season. I put a little olive oil on it because the world can go wrong with olive oil.
Right.
Put that on it. Stuck it in the air fryer for about 12 minutes. I flipped it at 6 minutes. So I put it on one side 6 minutes and I flipped it. Mm-hmm. And all it took 12 minutes, and it was the juiciest, most tender pork chop I've ever had.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. And it was like crispy on the edges.
You need to cook sometime and like have me over or us over or whatever on that thing.
I know we got to. Did I cook you one time before?
Yeah, you did. It wasn't. You didn't have that then, or did you?
No, I didn't. No. What was it?
It was Alfredo. You
that's
Alfredo,
right. Yeah. It was probably horrible.
It was not horrible.
Yeah,
I took some home, so it was not horrible.
I heard you over there gagging like. I'm like, was it good? Yes, good.
Full of shit. Oh my god. You are crazy.
You know, talking about the senses going blind, I thought about doing a comic book.
Really?
Yeah. You know what it's going to be about?
What?
It's going to be called
a blind comic book.
It's going to be. Thank you. It's going to be called It's going to be called Perfect Sense.
I like the name.
And it's going to be about this guy that goes blind, or this girl, or a guy, I don't know yet. Mm-hmm. He goes blind. And when he goes blind, his other senses pick up to where it's perfect, and he uses them as like a superpower.
Oh, that's so creative. That's so neat. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what happens when I hang out with Joey. Like, you know what we do.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking like,
so
wild
imagination. Yeah, you start thinking hard and all
that stuff. So I thought about that like last time I was here. I was like, ooh, comic book, Perfect Sense. That would make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Right.
That reminds me, like, this podcast, I've been dreaming it up for like a year or so. I just didn't have a name. I needed a name to represent. I know I wanted it to be about being blind and helping people who aren't blind understand blindness. So I was like, then the pandemic happened. And then I started thinking about masks, you know. I don't know how masks, came up, but I was like, masks? So what about unmasking. Like, you know.
Let's reveal something.
Yeah, unraveling the role of blindness. Yeah, exactly.
I thought when you told me what it was called, I was like, "Ooh, that is perfect."
You're the first person I text. I was like, how does this sound?
What I say? That shit sounds great.
Yeah, you said it sounded good.
I loved it.
I was so excited. Once I had that name, I was ready to go.
Oh yeah, once you have a good name for anything, it's like, oh yeah, like ready to go somewhere. Yeah.
And that reminds me and Jack we're working on the theme song for my Misha's Music Element. We're trying to. We came up with a couple of lyrics, and it's more. I'm not exactly singing it, and I'm not exactly rapping it. So it's like I'm kind of saying it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like I'm rapping it. This sounds cool so far. I'll have to let you.
As long as it's catchy, you know.
Right. I'll have to let you hear it and see
Yeah.
what it sounds like. But
just as long as it sounds catchy, then that'll draw in audience.
yeah, I think it does. It's really cool. It's all creative. Like everything from the production of the music. Like we did it. Like, we didn't copy nobody or nothing. Yeah.
Ooh, who made the beat? Jack?
He did. He did all of that.
I don't hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you hear that. I'm so excited. Thank you for joining us and having a conversation with us on this lovely Saturday.